So March Madness starts probably the day that you're watching this video on Thursday, and there's a lot to discuss. I opened up the files. I'm on one of my computers that is still hacked like crazy, but I can record. So much going on. I can't even tell you guys. All right, so let's talk. I want to answer a bunch of questions about some things and also talk about some fixes that we need to implement if you have copies of the master scoring bracket and also if you're updating the actual college basketball algorithm. So many things to talk about. So let's start with the easy stuff. First of all, it looks like the field is set. One of these games is finishing up right now, but Arizona State is way ahead of Nevada. So it looks like everything is set, and your winners of your playing games were Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, Fairleigh Dickinson, Pittsburgh, and the algorithm missed this one. We had Nevada beating Arizona State, but Arizona State looks like they're winning. So here you have your entry bracket if you purchase one of these. This one's working fine. The issue, though, in the master scoring bracket is Miami. And let me explain how to fix that if you have a copy, because it is a very easy fix. So inside the master bracket file, we have a bunch of team names. And even though Miami appears right here, it doesn't appear properly in this column here for the master team name. So what you actually need to do is you need to go find Miami. And you'll see that all the way down here in row, whatever row this is 175. It says Miami FL because it's Florida's Miami. I don't think it's Miami of Ohio that's there. I think it's Miami of Florida. I'm almost positive about that. So you need to get rid of the parentheses FL and the space at the end of there and just leave the word Miami. And now it will work when you're scoring everyone's brackets. So Matt or Nick, somebody asked me about that in the comments, and that's all you need to do. Anybody that has the file, you will need to do that or it won't score properly. I will send an email to everyone who purchased this whole bracket setup and point you to this video and show you how to do that. So that will fix the master scoring bracket. So we're good with the master scoring bracket. We're good with the entry bracket. Now let's talk about the AI entry bracket, which is going to predict the games. And let's talk about the college basketball algorithm, which had to have some work done to it to get it to work. I got a couple emails today and yesterday about updating the file and people having trouble. And the truth is, I couldn't even get into computers to do anything. I'm so hacked that it's just a disaster. And my computers don't think that they are where they are, and it's tough for me to access stuff, and everything on my drives is all corrupted, and it's a complete disaster. But I did get access tonight, and we're going through it, and I did update it, and I'll show you what happened. So basically, when you grab all the standings from this website with, what is it, like Pro Reference or whatever? Let's see here. This website, the Sports Reference odds, what they did here is they actually added the word NCAA after the team name if they're in the NCAA tournament. So their names over here they'll say like space NCAA after them. NCAA after them. You have to remove the space and the NCAA from the name. So all I did was a control F to find the word, space NCAA and replaced it with nothing. Replace nothing, replace all. That got rid of it, and that fixed stuff. So that's how you fix this standing sheet because it rolls forward to everything else. The next thing you need to do is when you go back to the standing sheet, okay, so here's another issue. I don't know whether it's the hackers who I think are sports betting related. I'm pretty sure I've got like the mob after me because everybody is winning with the algorithms that I do and they're coming after me. That's kind of what I think is happening based on my inability to bet on any website anymore, basically. And also, when I dug through this file after opening it up, it was corrupt. And it was corrupt, and all these formulas here were gone. And it was pasted as values. And I don't remember doing that in this version. And I was started to look back in history to find older versions of this file to see when this occurred. And it occurred right around the time that I got hacked. So I'm assuming that somebody's tried corrupting this and thought that I wouldn't notice, which I didn't notice for a few days, that all these formulas were removed and this was static now. And that will change the predictions. So I have fixed that and re-engineered everything, and you may need a copy that you got to look at your copy. Look and see if you have formulas in any of these cells in the copy that you have from me, because if you don't have any formulas here, or it's missing some formulas. Some of them were blank. There was like a line of blanks and stuff at the bottom. I mean, I don't know, right? But this one's fine. So if you got one from me recently, I will send you this copy. And if you haven't got one from me recently, send me some money and I'll send you the copy. Like, I just don't want to send out work for free all the time for everyone. But definitely, if you purchased one in the last week or two, and I sent you a bad version, I think. So I will definitely send you a current copy, and I will try to find your addresses through my hacked email. So anyway, this is all fixed now. I'm not going to go through the process of fixing it because it's too complicated, but it's fixed. You know what that means? It means we got predictions. So these are Thursday's games. So everyone take off from work, go to your local pub, drink, hook up with some coworkers. Like, that's what March Madness is all about. Let's face it. It's getting drunk at noon on a Thursday because that's when the games start. So enjoy that. And these are the teams that are supposed to win. So who are they and why are they? And what do you do? Well, I see some ridiculous lines, and we're going to take a look at the AI bracket in conjunction with this. We're going to look at both things to kind of go over where all these teams are in the list and what to do. And also talk about the changes in the AI bracket's predictions, because the AI bracket is not predicting Houston anymore. It's now predicting Alabama, I believe, right? Yeah, Alabama wins now, which is different than the video from a few days ago. So stats have been updated and things have changed. So Alabama is supposed to beat that play-in team, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They are minus $1 trillion. So betting them on the money line is going to be tough. And 23 points, I don't mess with spreads like that. So you got some really tough games that you can't bet. It's Alabama, Kansas, UCLA, and Texas that are completely unbettable. So where are those teams? Well, Alabama's number 1 seed in the West. So that makes sense, right? It's very, 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 very rare that a 16 seed beats a 1 seed. I think it happened last year or 2 years ago is the only time it ever happened, if I remember correctly. So probably the one teams are going to win. So Purdue's not playing. What's the other one? It's Houston. Who are those other teams on there? There's Kansas, which is down here. Kansas over Howard is the number 1 seed in the West. And what are the other 2 games that are on there? UCLA and Texas. UCLA is slightly injured. But that looks like UCLA is down here, and Texas is probably going to be, no, Texas somewhere else. Texas is over here. Okay, that makes sense. So those are 1s and 2 seeds, and those why those lines are really, really bad. And those teams are probably going to win, but it's tough to bet them. Now, the rest of the games, you actually have reasonable lines for a tournament here. So let's go over every one of those games and then look at the I bracket to see where they are in terms of seeding, to see if there's any, conflict or any type of difference between what the seedings are in the bracket and what the algorithm says. First of all, Virginia, I won't be able to bet on it because I live in Virginia. But they're supposed to beat Furman. They're only minus 250. So where is that game on here? It's right here. Virginia's a 4 seed. Looks like they're supposed to win. That line's pretty reasonable. I was actually down in Virginia, at the University of Virginia, the day after they won the tournament, like 3 years ago, I think it was. They had like torn up like a bridge and they did amazing things, and everyone was still drunk at like 1 p.m. the next day when I was there, all the college kids. That was fun. There's a video of that actually where I ended up hanging out there. I'll go dig up that video and link to it. They did win a while ago. They'll probably win the first round here on Thursday. Utah State and Missouri. Missouri injured. Utah State only minus 120. Pay no attention to home and away. It doesn't mean anything. These are all neutral site games from my understanding. So Utah State is where on here? Utah State is where? Where are you, Utah State? Utah State. See how bad my vision is. Utah State. Where are you? If you search, you're going to have to search in values. So the regular search doesn't work. You have to change the search slightly under options to go to search values, and that's how you can find a team name on this list. And there they are. So Utah State is right here. So here we have an upset essentially when it comes to the bracket, which is we have Utah State beating Missouri. Missouri, who is injured anyway. We have a 10 seed beating a 7 seed. So this is one of those where we think the seeding is incorrect. So that's something to note, as Utah State is who we have there. Texas A&M over Penn State. Where's that game? And Where'd you go, Penn State? There it is, over there. Penn State and Texas A&M. So I believe, yeah, we do have Texas A&M. So here we have the 7 seed beating the 10 seed. Fairly close game. The algorithm says that Texas A&M wins this game by 5. So it's saying. No, actually, it's saying they only win it by 1 point. 73-72. Texas A&M. Did I just read that wrong? Wait a second. We have Texas A&M, and the algorithm and the odds makers have Texas A&M. Okay, so it's pretty consistent, but that's a really close game there. Next game, Boise State over Northwestern. Boise State slightly injured and an underdog here. So, and by the way, look at these worst strength of schedules. That's something to pay attention to. So you can see this Texas A&M strength of schedule is minus 1.14 and Boise State's minus 1.9. So these are more sketchy picks when you have a worse strength of schedule number like that in there. So where do we have Boise State on this list? They are down at the bottom somewhere there. We have them as a 10 seed beating a 17% team in Northeastern. We have Northeastern as a 17% team. That doesn't seem right. Let's see what's going on here. That can't be right. That's wrong. That's wrong. Northwestern is not a 17% team. So something is wrong in the AI bracket for that. This is wrong. It's weird. Why is that? Let's take a look. More hacking? Who knows? Northeastern's in the CA conference. I feel like this doesn't look wrong. This doesn't look right. They were 10 and 20. It can't be right. Let's look at the algorithm and see what happened here. So the standings within this, let's see Northeastern in the algorithm file. No, they're 10 and 20. Is this right? Hold on a second. We're going to ask Google. What was Northeastern's record in college basketball this year? Are they really 10 and 20?
Northeastern is in 10th place in the NCAA Colonial Athletic Association Conference men's basketball with 10 wins and 20 losses.
Why are they in this tournament? Anybody know? Okay, I guess that's right. I'm really, really astonished because I didn't realize that when we were looking at the video, the original video. I mean, you can see how bad their rating is on here, 17%. So Boise State should definitely win this game. I'm just kind of astonished at that, but all right. So I guess we like Boise State for a couple reasons there. If I missed something or I'm wrong about something in that game, let me know in the comments because that looks just really, really funky. But our ratings really don't like Northeastern because it's Northwestern. Northwestern, not Northeastern. Oh, crap. We did find an error. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Good thing I did this video. Damn. Okay. We need to make some more changes. Oh my God. Is that who they're playing? They're playing Northwestern. Son of a bitch. All right. This is what happens when I do things too fast. So this team is actually Northwestern. How did nobody catch this? How did nobody catch this and nobody tell me this? Alrighty then, here's how you change that. Oh God. So Northeastern, it's because it's so close. I mean, it's North. All right, so Northeastern is actually Northwestern. Okay. We've just changed. So what you have to do is you have to go to the custom team names area and change them here and change them here. Change them to Northwestern in both spots. We've got to do the same thing. Oh my God. Oh, everyone who filled out their brackets is going to have to redo them if they chose that team. Sorry, folks. I don't think the person who hacked me changed that. I think I typed that in wrong. Okay, well, we're going to fix it. So we also got to go fix it in the master bracket. If you have a master bracket, right? That's going to happen down here. It's Northwestern. I got a lot of emails to make tonight, apparently. All right. So we just changed that. Now let's look back at the AI bracket. At least that was a quick fix. So let's go back in here. And you can see that Northwestern is a 66% team. And even though we still slightly favor Boise State as the underdog, it's a lot closer game. And that looks a whole lot more reasonable. Double check my team names, everybody. Okay. So let's keep going. Duke against Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts is a pretty good team. Or didn't they spoil a bunch of people last time? Let's see. What does the algorithm say for Duke? It says it's right here. It says Duke is a 5 seed, 72%. Says they'll win. There's always a lot of extra money on Duke, so the line is actually not going to be very good for Duke down there. Yeah, minus 275. But they're probably, with the new coach, they're probably going to beat Oral Roberts. But yeah, the line's really not great. You see how that's the worst line down here. Next, West Virginia and Maryland. This is going to be an exciting game. Two good teams. West Virginia a little injured. Maryland doesn't play great on the road. You want to call this kind of on the road because they're not at home. They play great at home, but have trouble on the road. So West Virginia and Maryland. Has West Virginia just barely. We're really getting down low with the margins. But notice you got a better strength of schedule for West Virginia and Arkansas down here. So we have West Virginia, and the algorithm, the AI bracket also has West Virginia as a 9 seed. Well, it has it a lot. Sorry, actually, the odds makers, I shouldn't say the odds makers, but the bracket makers have Maryland winning this game as the 8 seed, but it's 9 seed of West Virginia that the algorithm has. So there's that. And they are a little bit injured. So it's probably going to be an excellent game. Arkansas and Illinois. We barely have Arkansas. They also have a better strength of schedule than Illinois. Where's that game? That game is going to be Arkansas is over here. And it has, so it's also another super close game. We barely have Arkansas as an 8th seed. Okay, so that's consistent. And then the last one is Iowa at Iowa against Auburn at a neutral site. It's about an even money line. Who does the odds makers or the bracket makers? And they have it here. They barely have Iowa as well. Look at how close that game is, though. So you can see that these are some pick'em games here between Iowa and Auburn, and these last ones down on the list. Arkansas, Illinois, even West Virginia, Maryland with a little injury there, and Boise State, Northwestern, and Texas A&M with this worst strength of schedule against Penn State, really. These 5 are kind of the pick'em games where your bracket's going to be made or lost, I feel like. So that's the update. I've got a bunch of emails to send, and we have to fix Miami, Florida in your master bracket, and you got to fix Northeastern into Northwestern. That is a huge problem that will screw up everything that has started. That's a good thing we caught that. Double check all my team names. Nobody mentioned that. Nobody sent me any message about that. I guess it's because nobody's picking Northeastern, which they should have been picking Northwestern anyway. So that's the update here in preparation. Enjoy your March Madness tomorrow. Enjoy all the games. I'm going to watch some of these games. It's fun. I'm going to go get drunk in the middle of the day, probably. I think I will. And it should be a good time. And I'll be back again tomorrow night with an update and refresh for Friday. And if people have already filled out the brackets and they've done them wrong, the way to adjust it is just going to be replacing Northeastern with Northwestern. Is going to fix all their brackets. It's actually a pretty easy thing to do. And I will be answering questions about your master brackets and if you're having trouble scoring them. And I was going to do a tournament where I was going to try to get a bunch of brackets from everyone to enter them into a big thing. But with the hacking situation, and I can't deal with it right now. It's like there's too much going on. So I'm not going to do that. But I will do videos, of course. So that's the update. Good luck. May all our picks be winning. If you do one thing other than fill out a bracket. I haven't even filled out a bracket yet. I don't know if I'm going to. Let's go look at the games. If you do one thing tomorrow, you can see that this Utah State over an injured Missouri at minus 120. Strength of schedule is almost about even at a minus 0.05. The margin's up there around 7. It's the best line for a game with a reasonable margin. That's kind of a pretty good one there. So that's probably the algorithm's close to even money type pick of the day. And perhaps Boise State against now Northwestern. All right, good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning and your tournament be enjoyable. That's what it's all about.